Hello warriors, how are you doing? Today I'm talking about where we are, and what the emissaries say about where we are. I'll tell you all about it on the other side. So remember that I've got a course starting for parts therapy in November. I'll put the details down below if you want to come and join us. You need to be able to induce hypnosis, but apart from that, everybody's welcome. So, where are we? Now, right now, we are in a really interesting place. I think we're in the most interesting place that we've been up to now. And have you noticed that it just keeps getting more interesting? It's like trying to keep up with what's happening is impossible. It's impossible. There's just so much going on. So I thought, let's find out from the emissaries, let's have an update of where we are. So that's what I asked them. Said, give us an update. And they said, we're in a really, really great place. They said that lots is happening. That's it. Lots of things are happening right now. But I said to them, because obviously what I'm aware of is that there's a lot of talk about a WAR. There's a lot of pushing going on, even within our field. Lots of people are suggesting that that's possible, etc. So I thought, well, and I know that they don't get involved. The emissaries don't get involved in terrenal things. But I asked anyway. I said, will this get worse? Will it get worse? Will there be like a WAR? Yeah. And they said, if you're thinking about mass death, no. They said no. Okay. But they said there will be mass fear. Right? That's their intention. That's the intention. That, frankly, is all that they have. That's all that they have. Fear. That's their only tool. That's what the emissaries were saying. It's the only tool. What are the tools that they're going to be using going forward? According to the emissaries, they said lies, confusion, exaggeration, and false flags. All with the intention of sowing tremendous fear. That's what they want. So I took that as a very good thing, because they were saying, don't think it's going to be mass death, through a WAR. And why I'm spelling that out, I think because, I'm saying death and then WAR. The irony. Okay, so they said that fear is their only tool. It's all that they have. But then they said this, but however, this must happen. Okay, all of this confusion, lies, exaggeration, false flags must happen. Like it's part of the plan. It's part of the process. And remember, they've said before, we can't skip the process. We would love to. I would love to. But we can't. We've got to go through this process. And they give me two metaphors. I'll give you the first one. When they said this must happen. This has to happen. And they said, in the spring, when you are about to plant in your garden, what you've got to do is take a spade and you've got to turn over the soil. You've got to break the soil and turn it over. Overturn it. Yeah. And they showed me that and they said, for new seeds to grow, the ground has to be broken up and turned. And that's where we are right now. This is what's happening. Everything's been overturned. And it has to happen, because then if it doesn't happen, we can't plant the new seeds. Yeah, we can't grow the new time that we're going to move into. And so we have to accept that this is going to happen. We have to accept it. Okay. Now, the next metaphor they gave me was this. They said the baddies are in free fall, and they showed me, in all of the films we've seen it a zillion times. A car comes off the edge of a cliff down a precipice and it's going bits flying off everywhere, flames everywhere. In terms of a car, that is the most dangerous moment you can have, right? There's no control. It's free falling. It's breaking into zillions of pieces flying everywhere. And they said, that's where we are now. They're in free fall and they are extremely dangerous. Not because they're in control, because it's flying everywhere. The shit is hitting the fan. And they said these words, and I'm going to tell you something really important. They said, just stand back. Which is what you would do if a car was falling down a precipice, a precipice. Lovely word that, isn't it? A precipice. If it was falling down, you would stand back. You would get out of the way. And that's exactly what they said. Now, they said stand back. Okay? This that I'm telling you now, it's Friday today, but I actually talked to them last Saturday, so a week ago. From that moment, I can't tell you the amount of times that I heard, just stand back. Keep back. I've heard this from all over the place. Loads and loads of truthers and channels. Keep back, just stand back. It's all happening, just keep back, keep yourself in a safe place, over and over again. Right? And I don't take these repetitions lightly. And this has happened to me zillions of times. The emissaries say something. This happens loads of times. They say something. I record the video. Then I suddenly hear it everywhere. People saying the same message. And then the video comes out. And this is exactly what's happened here. They said it. And it was like, just stand back. Stand back. And that's what we have to do. It's not our job to jump in and try and, I don't know, direct the car that's falling down the precipice or try and catch the pieces that are flying. No, just keep out of the way. Keep out of the way. We've got stuff to do. We've got plenty stuff to do. The last thing we need to be doing is getting involved in that shit. Yeah? Let the car falls, it lands, it bursts into flames, and then it dies. Okay? And that's what's going to happen. That's what's happening now. We don't need to do anything to make that happen. It's planned. It's preordained. And the last things that the emissary said was, all is well. They will crash and burn. That were their words. They will crash and burn. So just let that happen. We don't need to be getting involved. I mean, I know everyone's got a role, and some people are very much involved in kind of doing stuff beautiful. But what I'm saying is, don't put yourself in any danger. Don't put yourself into a place where you could be in trouble because of that. Just let it happen. It's happening. Really, it's happening. Yeah? So, there we are. That's where we are. That's where we are. Free fall. Pieces flying everywhere. The shit's hitting the fan. And we need to duck a little bit and just hang fire. Alright, I love you all, and I'll see you all next week. Bye-bye.